Backscatter tutorial. Today we'll be putting together a point and shoot system with an ultralight arm and machined aluminum housing. These ones are different than, say, a Canon or Olympus point and shoot housing, as they have two holes in the bottom for attachment points. Similar housings will be Ultralight, Rexy, Olympus, and this one's a Nauticam. So, putting together your system. Your camera, you're going to want to make sure you have a fully charged battery and a freshly formatted card. Formatting your card after each use is important to make sure you don't corrupt the files. Otherwise, if you just erase and write over them, you can end up losing all your images on that card. For the housing, you want to make sure you clean and grease your O-ring. Make sure you use a lint-free cloth. We prefer these shop towels or these blue towels, as they're an easy, clean way to clean and grease your O-ring. Tearing off a portion makes it easy for getting in the little small grooves that you'll need to clean it out. To remove your O-ring, pinch and pull. So you want to pull it through the towel, cleaning off any dirt and debris that might be on there. You don't want to pull too hard and stretch it, as it might warp and break the O-ring. The O-ring grease is going to work in two functions. One is going to help clean the O-ring, and it's also going to help lubricate it when you close the housing. Just a little dab will do you. Wipe it on nice and smooth, and it should just be a nice sheen to it. It should not be just globbed on there. The housing side, you also want to make sure that you clean all the places that the O-ring comes in contact with. So all the way around the groove, and even on the inside of the housing to make sure there's no lint and hair. It's important that when you're doing O-rings to do them start to finish. Don't stop and answer the phone, don't stop to pet Mr. Fluffy, because then it will cause issues and possible flooding. Insert the camera, close it up, and that's ready to go. Strobe is also going to be very similar. Open it up and insert, again, fresh batteries. We recommend using rechargeables because that way you're not throwing them out every 5 seconds. Also on here, another O-ring. Pinch and pull. Run it around your blue towel to clean it off. Even brand new O-rings need to be cleaned. There's many times where that will cause, there'll be little bits of dust and debris in there. And just a little dab. So it has a nice little sheen to it. Putting together the ultralight system. So one, you have your tray. You want to make sure you put your handle on the tray. Bolts will have washer, lock washer. Thread this through the bottom and screw on the handle. Now some trays will allow you to slide the handle back and forth. This is for comfort, so some people like it a little wider, some people like it a little tighter in. Personal preference. We'll make sure it's good and tight. The clamps I'm going to loosen and make sure that the spring is over the ball. Tighten. Simple. Now, strobe adapter for a CNC strobe. This tongue and groove setup. You want to remove the fixing bolt, slide the strobe on, so you can then pass the bolt through the hole. And tighten. Now to put the housing onto the tray. Simply line up the holes, thread it in. Same thing with this tray. Same on this tray, same as the handle, you'll be able to slide the housing back and forth. Once again, personal preference depending on if you want a wider platform to shoot from or a tighter one. Make sure those are good and tight. One last piece that we need to put together for the system is the fiber optic cable. This is what's going to be used to trigger the system. Simply, with a CNC strobe, plug it into the black hole. Same on the housing, plug it into one of these. Now you'll notice that there is an O-ring on these. This O-ring is not creating a watertight seal. It's just providing friction so the cord doesn't just fall out. So no need to grease those as they're not creating a watertight seal. With many CNC strobes, there's a little added feature to them. Right underneath next to the fixing bolt, there's a place to lock the cord so it pulls back so it doesn't float in front of the lens and get in the way. Next thing, test it. Simply turn both camera and housing on. Pick a subject. Aim. Fire. And we're good. That is putting together a system for an ultralight arm and a machined aluminum housing.